Good afternoon and am I up? Good afternoon and welcome to the Seaside-Sand City Television Show here on KYMB Comcast Channel 19 and over the air at 27.1. Brought to you in part by the Seaside-Sand City Chamber of Commerce. Today we got a couple of guests. We'll take it live here. Good afternoon. I'm Jim Vossen, V as in Victor, O-S-S-E-N. Today we had two guests. Show number two, by the way. Show number two. It is November 6th. 2013. Today we have Shawn Adams from Monterey. I was going to say Monterey Downs, but no, he's from Monterey Signs. Monterey Sound. Monterey Downs is that other. But a lot of the letters are in here that's close. The N and the S. That's about it. Anyway, Monterey Signs on Broadway, by the way. Good friends of mine. Good business to have right down the street from our Chamber of Commerce office. And then in the second half, we're going to have Todd Champagne. Now, he is connected. He does this kind of a dinner. It was a marketplace over at a place called Post No Bills, which is in Sand City. It's at the Independent Building, used to be called the Design Center, the tallest building in Sand City. And we're going to talk to him about tomorrow night's dinner that they do there. They do it once a month, the first Thursday of the month. So here's what I want to do. We're going to talk just a little bit briefly last night's elections. As you know, last week we started our first show here. Our first guest was Beth Palmer from Monterey Downs, and they happen to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce. And we talked about the Measure K and why you should vote yes on that, and Measure M on why you should vote no on that. Well, it turns out both lost, so both went down defeat, which is fine for me. I think it should have just been left the way it is. That's good, you know. It was interesting though because I guess it was on the weekend, and I got involved on Monday afternoon in Seaside at the corner of Broadway and Fremont. Boy, we had 4 corners were covered with campaigners from both sides. So you had somebody standing there with a yes on M sign, and right next to that person, a no on M sign. They're all doing this, waving to people. I got in there. I did the sign thing for a little bit. I just thought it was interesting that they'd be right next to each other. You would think maybe, you know, that one group would be on 2 corners, the other group would be on the other 2 corners. If I didn't know any better, I'm driving by and I see these signs next to each other. Probably scratching my head and saying, I don't quite understand. Confusing, you know. And I think I said it last week. I think I told Beth Palmer, I said my thoughts were that I'm pretty sure that they're both going to be defeated. And the reason is that they're too complicated. And when they're complicated, more people tend to vote no than yes. Because if they don't know anything about it, why vote yes? You know, no, just vote no. So I did my job. I voted, and Mary Lou voted. Kind of neat. We went to, I don't know if the voter turnout was low, because we went to the Boys and Girls Club in Seaside. That's our normal place. And they had, let's see, you walk in, and there's a person, a receptionist, and you give them your name. And then there's like 4 or 5 different number groups that your zone is, I guess, where you live. And nobody was out there registering. I think there was 1 person voting. We were there at about, I don't know, say about 5:30. Seemed no, excuse me, 6:30. You would have thought that would have been a good time, but it was cute. One of the things was, and I went right for it. They had, you know, you take your folder with the little paper in it, your voting thing, and you go over to this tall table, small table, and it's got this cardboard wall around you so nobody can see. And a couple of them had these little portable lights that were clamped onto them, and there's a little sign that says push button to turn the light on. So I pushed a button, turned the light on. And I didn't read further. On there that apparently if you push it a couple of times, it gets brighter and brighter and then off. So it's like 3 position. So I didn't read that part. I just pushed the button, turned it on. And the next thing you know, I went to go turn it off when I was done. I went like that, and it gets brighter. So, well, wait a minute, it didn't go off. And I pushed it one more time, a little brighter. And then the next time it went off. Anyway, I told the lady at the front desk when I turned my stuff in that I wanted one of those. So, anyway, this is the Seaside-Sand City Television Show, show number 2. We've got our guest sitting in the green room. We don't really have a green room, but it's pretty close to that. And we're going to bring him out. We're going to take a little break. We'll be back and talk about what's going on in Seaside and Sand City. Don't go away.
And how would you rate the Me and Ed's pizza?
It's good. So, can I take the rest home with me?
Sorry, we need it for the test. Let's make that very good.
Pizza's made to a higher standard. Me and Ed's, 2 fun guys, 1 serious pizza.
Hi, I'm Jim Vossen. Join me Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock for the Seaside-Sand City Television Show here on KYMB, Comcast Cable Channel 19, and over the air at 27.1. Brought to you in part by the Seaside-Sand City Chamber of Commerce. That's Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock for the Seaside-Sand City Television Show. Thank you. Welcome back to the... Ron and I are working this out. We're doing good. Ron used to be my engineer for the morning show, and we're getting back into the swing of this. This is the Seaside-Sand City Television Show. And guest number 1 today, guest number 3 of the whole series, is Shawn Adams. How are you doing?
Good, Jim.
Now, I got to tell you something. You and I mentioned it to you that you and I met a long time ago when you were up in, it wasn't really Prunedale. What do you call that area up there?
It was officially Castroville, but it's really where Royal Oaks and Prunedale and Castroville meet. It's out there in North County.
Okay. Now, you had been there for, you started your sign business then?
I did,
Now, what year did you actually officially start Monterey Signs?
2007.
2007. Okay. Well, that's not, 6 years.
Right.
All right. You've grown.
Yes, we've done well.
You've done well.
Yeah.
Now, it's kind of a family operation. Your wife is there.
Right.
And then who else?
Mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law.
Yeah, and occasionally the father-in-law will join.
Okay. I see him every once in a while over at Home Depot. Is that
Right,
okay?
yeah.
Is that okay to announce that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you got a couple of dogs there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, 2 dogs.
Very nice doggies.
And occasionally the kids come in.
Oh, the kids. How many kids do you have?
2.
Now, how old are they?
4.5 and 6.5.
All right. So you had a baby when you were starting.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
That was fun.
All right. So when you were first starting the sign business, you were working out of a home? Your home had a garage and such?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not quite the same setup that you're doing right now? You have bigger equipment and things?
Oh, yeah. We started...
Totally different ballgame.
It was the bare bones when we first started. We took a 3-car garage and we converted it into a sign shop.
Oh.
And I've seen that done before.
Sure.
And it can work out pretty well. And we built it up actually very nicely. A tiled floor and nice workstations. And we had a separate office for it. And it was actually a very nice home-based business.
Did you have a panel saw? Do you have one of those?
We do have a panel saw.
You do have a...
Yeah.
Aren't those neat?
They're fantastic. We love ours.
You know, there was a hardware store, lumber yard up in Daly City that closed up. And I had an opportunity to buy one of those for like about $100.
Right.
I should have done that, huh?
You should have.
I should have, yeah. There's something about that because, you know, you can lay that 4x8 on there and just do nice clean cuts. And those kind of cuts too, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you use it almost every day? Or
every day, almost all day. We cut a lot of boards there.
A lot of boards. Do you cut plastic with that too, or do you have to use something different? Do you have to use a different blade?
It depends on the gauge of plastic. If it's a thicker plastic,
yeah,
we'll use the panel saw. If it's a thin gauge plastic, we'll just put it on the work table and cut it with some razor blades.
Oh, okay. Razor blades.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that's changed, and it seems like it wasn't that long ago, when if you wanted a sign, well, let's say like a magnetic sign, you would go and go to the sign shop, and they would produce these vinyl letters that you kind of they get cut out. There's a machine that would cut them out.
Right.
You used to probably have to cut them out by hand, but now you don't do that, do you?
No.
It's something different. You actually print the whole thing.
Right. Yeah. So a while back ago, signs were painted. They were hand painted with paint and a brush. And then about 20 years ago, technology was invented for computers to actually have cut lettering and use a computerized controlled cutting device that would cut shapes
Okay.
and letters out of vinyl films, and then those would be applied to metals and plastics and boards of all types. But now,
Yeah.
most everybody prints. And we still cut some products like reflective films. You can't print reflective. You
Oh.
can't print metallic, really.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So most of the designs we do are printed onto vinyl and then mounted that vinyl to vehicles for vehicle wraps or boards for signs or windows for someone's storefront.
Now, I
sort of thing.
saw there was a used van somewhere at one of the, I think it was Otis Used Cars, and it was all white, and the paint looked great and everything, and apparently it used to be like a U-Haul truck. And I said, well, how'd they get the sign? He said, well, it had a wrap on it, and when they took the wrap off, the what was underneath was just the way it was.
Right.
Is that what usually happens?
Yeah.
There-
So, yeah, actually, the wrap actually protects the paint underneath.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So if you get a vehicle that has a factory paint job, a good quality paint job on it, and
Yeah.
you put a wrap over the top, and you remove the wrap years later,
Yeah.
the paint will be like new underneath because it hasn't been oxidized or weathered.
There's a former councilman in Seaside, Steve Bloomer. He's got this old, I'm gonna almost like a Maverick or something. It might be a little Pontiac. So anyway, the car is totally yucco. I mean, and I keep on telling him we got to get you a wrap, and advertise the chamber or something like that. Now, when you do wraps, you have to. You go to a catalog. Do you have some kind of a computer thing that says, okay, this is a 2004 Dodge van, small van, whatever, and it gives you the sizes and everything, how you do that, basically?
Yeah, that's correct. And it's about 95% accurate.
Okay.
So we have a library of vehicle drawings. So if you bring to me 2005 Ford F-150 truck,
Right.
we're going to have that drawing in our library
Yeah.
and be able to superimpose any design very accurately onto that drawing and show you what your wrap would look like before we actually make
Oh,
it.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. And you basically computerize it. You send a picture, and people see what it looks like.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of control over it.
Now you've done besides doing like trucks and such and building signs. Have you done some cars?
Oh, wrapping cars?
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of cars.
Lots of cars.
Yeah, we've done.
Any like race cars for Laguna Seca? You know, where they
Yeah.
have that kind of Is that more the thing of today now, rather than the vinyl letters on there? You don't really do that too much anymore, right?
No, right. Yeah, most race cars are wrapped nowadays with graphics. So, and they wreck them, so they're constantly being
Oh.
changed out. We had
They shouldn't do that.
we had a job recently that involved 8 race cars for one national sponsor. So we did the production of the graphics here in Monterey, and then we coordinated the installation nationwide at 8 different locations around the United States, finding installers in those local markets to ship the graphics to, and they showed up at the racetrack with the installers and placed them on the race cars.
Okay. Speaking of vehicles, you did the MST bus, the Jazz.
We did
How many buses did they do?
7
Are they all
city
done?
buses.
They're all done?
Well, possibly more. We'll see. We're hoping for more.
I saw an MST bus yesterday, and I had to pull up to it because it was a different bus. It didn't have your big graphic on it, it didn't have the Jazz thing. It was a different bus than another bus that went by, and there was a space between the windows along the side and the roof. And on this one was kind of like a California Bear and like a modern jazzed up flag looking thing. Did you do that, or somebody?
I don't think so.
No.
It doesn't sound familiar.
It was an interesting thing because I tried to look at another MST bus, and I guess a
Right.
different design. They didn't have the same space that So that's interesting. All right. All right. So you've been doing this for about 6 years. What's the most popular kind of signs that you almost do every day?
Well,
the average.
we made a name for ourselves with vehicle wraps initially,
Okay.
and that was really
That's why you have all your vehicles wrapped.
right. Yeah, it's great marketing. If you're a small company and you want to look bigger than you really are, a vehicle wrap's a great way to do that. There's an emerging market right now where people are trying to personalize their vehicles, so they'll buy a new vehicle off the factory floor, and then they'll come to us for a brushed metallic wrap or a carbon fiber wrap or a matte black wrap. So there's that.
Oh,
So
that matte black, I've seen that on cars.
Right.
Is that usually a wrap or is somebody painted
that's
that?
usually a wrap. Yeah, when it's done well, it's usually a vehicle wrap.
Personal opinion?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
You don't like it?
No. A car's got to be shiny.
It's a little trendy right now.
It-
That's
it-
what makes it different. That's what people like it. It makes it look different. Makes it look
that-
more menacing.
Yeah,
Tough.
I guess that's what it is.
Right.
I'm not too sure.
So we started off with really wraps was our entry into the market, and then over time we started making custom signs of all sorts, three-dimensional, sandblasted, hand-carved signs.
Oh, sandblasted.
Right.
Yeah, sandblasted. That's almost like used to be a sign that you did with routers,
Right.
router signs. But now sandblasting. That works. That's like the opposite, isn't it? Now, there's a router would kind of groove inside a board, whereas the sandblasting leaves the letters higher. And am I doing that right?
Well,
And
yeah. Both processes will
Okay.
cut letters out of a substrate, out of a material
Oh,
like
okay.
foam or wood or metal. But the sandblasting process is unique in that it'll put a sandblast, like a wood grain look to a sign. So if you see a wood grain background into a sign, usually that's sandblasting.
Now, do you actually do that in house? You have
We
to send
do.
that out. You really do.
Yeah.
Don't you have to have like a lot of sand or something? Or you reutilize the sand?
Right. Well, we'll coordinate the sandblasting to be done by a wholesaler for us.
Oh, okay.
So it's not done in our
I got
facility
you.
on
Oh,
Seaside.
okay. All right.
Right.
Because is that still quite done it often or what?
Oh yeah, we do
Is
a
it?
lot of sandblasted
Really?
signs. Yeah, there's a lot of that's done on Cannery Row.
Oh,
Pebble Beach.
especially like when you have especially I've seen it, I guess, where you have a group of maybe storefronts or offices where they want to be uniformed in their look,
Right.
so they'll do something. That make sense?
That's exactly right.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a little break. I'm here with Shawn Adams from Monterey Signs. This is the Seaside-Sand City Television Show right here on KYMB, Comcast Channel 19. We'll be back in about 1 minute. Don't go away.
The 2013 Motor Trend Truck of the Year is Ram 1500, and Cal is offering fantastic savings on this award-winning truck. The Ram 1500 has hard-charging power with easygoing economy and is best in class for city and highway MPG. Motor Trend Truck of the Year, massive power, best in class gas mileage. Cal's not crazy, but you might be if you pass on this deal. Cal's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, in the middle of the Seaside Auto Center. Military, see us first.
Hello, welcome to Alberto's Restaurant. Come on in. At Alberto's, you will have a new experience at great Italian dining. We have fantastic pasta dishes like fettuccine alfredo and eggplant parmesan. And you have to come in and try the chicken marsala and the calamari con limone. I take great pride in everything I prepare, and I know you will love it. And what's dinner without a little wine? At Alberto's, we have a great selection of wines to go with your dinner.
Alberto's Restaurante in Pacific Grove.
Come and see us tonight. Salud. Salud.
Hi, I'm Jim Vossen. Join me Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock for the Seaside-Sand City Television Show here on KYMB, Comcast Cable Channel 19, and over the air at 27.1. Brought to you in part by the Seaside-Sand City Chamber of Commerce. That's Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock for the Seaside-Sand City Television Show. Okay, welcome back to the Monterey Bay. Oh, excuse me, I almost said the Monterey Bay Morning Show. Ron, you didn't catch me. Anyway, that's what it used to be, and we did the morning for a year and a half. Seaside-Sand City Television Show, sponsored in part by the Seaside-Sand City Chamber of Commerce. And it's for the promoting of our members. That's basically what we're doing here. I'm Jim Vossen, V as in Victor, O-S-S-E-N, talking with Shawn Adams from Monterey Signs. It seems like just a little while, I heard that you were doing a special project in Salinas at the, what do you call it, Sports Center?
That's right.
What were you doing there?
That was a Salinas Sports Center, hired us. They built a brand new state-of-the-art football stadium for college and high school football, and also soccer games and other events.
So the grass there is just a graphic? Is that what that is?
Oh, it's artificial turf.
Artificial turf.
With something like 100,000 tires, automobile tires that were ground up and put under the turf.
Oh, to give it so that when the guys fall down, they don't hurt themselves.
Right, yeah.
That was very nice of them.
They took they took the facility from level ground and built a beautiful state-of-the-art football stadium with grandstands and big video scoreboard. And,
Now, is this where they do the rodeo?
It's
rodeo?
right next to it.
Right next to it. Okay.
Yeah, right
All
next to it. It's called.
So what did you do? You didn't do the Astro turf thing.
Well, they came to us in late July and they said they needed this project with signage, completely done with signage by the end of August. So that was a very short amount of time. And by the time we submitted our bid and won the bid and got all the T's crossed and I's dotted, it was August had started already, and we had about 3.5 weeks to complete a pretty large project. And it was several hundred signs to be put up, to be designed, planned out, coordinated.
Let me just ask you a question. I should have done this earlier. Are these signs on your website by any chance? The ones they did? You don't have those pictures? No.
But only because we're launching a new website here. It's supposed to be finished this week.
Oh, okay.
So we'll have a new website at MontereySigns.com.
When we do it again, we'll do this. Okay. Right. All right. Okay. So now, so the signage.
Right.
Where are the signs? Were they up in the bleachers or what? I don't know what. Where?
The signs were really mostly identifying sponsors of the stadium.
Oh, okay.
So you had businesses primarily in Salinas, primarily large agricultural companies like Tanner and Antle, for example.
But those you're going to be doing more of those because they're going to get new customers, right?
Right. Yeah. If you show up there, you'll see a very beautiful looking stadium. In fact, it was commented on that some of the female staff that really managed the look and feel of the Salinas Rodeo said was very surprised that it came out so good for a bunch of men organizing this project.
How big are these signs that you did?
They are a variety of sizes. I think the smallest one was about 4 feet by 8 feet.
Well, that's the smallest one.
The largest one was, I believe, 35, 40 feet.
Now, how do you do something like that?
Well, there was a variety of different types of signage we used there. So there was some large electrical signs. There was some what we call dimensional or architectural letters that spelled out the sponsorship.
Oh, okay.
And then there were aluminum signs that we did throughout the facility.
So I have to bring you back when you get your website all straightened out.
It's pretty impressive.
Is it?
Yeah, it looks great. We're very proud of that project.
All right. Now, what's coming up? You got some big projects in the works. What do you got?
Yeah, we do. We got some exciting stuff happening that we think is going to change the look of Monterey. I think we've got some projects that
change the look of Monterey County or Monterey City or
Monterey City.
Oh, Monterey City.
Yeah, we just finished a project on Canterbury Row for John Pisto Steakhouse. A very nice halo lit LED sign that it mounts perpendicular to their building.
Halo lit. What is that? What does that mean?
So that's an electrical sign where the letters themselves are opaque. They're opaque metal, so the letters themselves don't illuminate, but there's LEDs behind the letter that shine light behind the letter, giving it a very nice, soft,
kind of like if you go by the Naval Postgraduate School.
Yes.
And you go by Del Monte Avenue, and they got the walls with the signs there.
Yes.
They have letters out there.
Those are all halo lit letters.
You didn't do that, did you?
No, we didn't. That was an out-of-town sign company.
It was.
It was.
Shame on them.
Yeah.
That's okay. You would think that the government would have their own sign people, but I guess they have to go. All right, so that's called a halo look.
Halo lit.
All right, halo lit.
Halo lit, yeah. We have another exciting project, too, for the Wharf Marketplace.
Oh, the Wharf, okay.
Yeah, you've seen them.
I've been in there.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a deli, and they got fish and stuff like that.
Yeah. Fresh produce,
we go there. Oh, yeah.
Fresh bread.
Oh, they have, what'd you say?
Fresh bread, fresh produce, great coffee.
Oh, produce, okay. I thought you said burgers for a minute.
No.
No, you didn't say burger. I didn't see, okay. You know what I did the other day? We went in there, and I actually, a lot of people don't know this because they don't say it up there, but they sell sliced meats, the stuff they have in there for the sandwiches.
Right.
I wanted to go home and make my own turkey sandwich for the football game, you know, so I got some sliced turkey at a good price. It was all right.
I see they're starting to sell stuff from Corralitos Market, which is famous for their hams, of course. So.
Now, you're right. Signage is important. I'll tell you one of the things. I'm thinking of stopping somewhere and talking to the gentleman. Probably, obviously, when you came into town, you notice we've got the guy that barbecues stuff at the corner of Canyon up the street from there.
Curly's.
Curly's, yeah. Right. He needs some signage on the windows.
Yeah, he does. Right.
Because you you could get an impression that they're closed.
Yeah.
You know, they don't seem open.
Right.
And I'm you know, the one outside sign, that's fine. And probably shouldn't have in their front of their parking lot is that boat they got. I guess think it's the
Right.
son's boat
I
for
think they're trying
sale.
to sell it, yeah.
Not, you know, just kind of anyway. Something like that. But signage on the windows,
Right.
It would really get, you know, a special, you know, a special sandwich or something.
Yeah.
You get it, you know.
Yeah, if they were interested, they can contact us and we could show them a way to make their windows look a lot better.
Yeah.
But more importantly, return their investment, where it would only take, you know, maybe a few $100s to decorate their windows with
Sure.
some lettering or some graphics, but that makes a big deal for people's businesses.
And you know, with restaurants, quite often, it's getting that first person in.
Right.
Because if you're any good, they're going to come back and back and back, you know.
Correct,
And that
yeah.
guy's been around there for a long time, so he must have some regular customers. Now he needs a few more regular customers.
Right. Their food is good there.
All right. So now, so you're saying about you were talking about the big projects. You're talking about Cannery Row and some other
Right.
signage. What other things you got in there?
Well, the Wharf Marketplace
Wharf
is one of my
Marketplace.
favorite projects we're working on right now.
Now, what are you doing differently to it? It looks like it has signs on there.
No, it has some temporary banners up right now.
Okay.
And that is a significant building on a sensitive view shed on Del Monte. So the city is very concerned about
Yeah.
the look and feel. And we are doing a very nice 20-foot long neon sign mounted to their roof next week. So that's a very exciting project. It's going to spell out the Wharf Marketplace in a very retro style with neon letters mounted to their roof. And that is just one phase of the project. The second phase is a double-sided monument sign on the corner of Figueroa and Del Monte. That'll also be neon. And that is going to be very visible at night. It's going to give a very upscale signature look to that part of Monterey, and I think it'll be very pleasing to look at. So not only are we doing these large projects for the Wharf Marketplace, we're also doing some small things. Like we did some interior signage for the business that has other icons. They've got these icons of a sardine, of a wine bottle,
Okay.
of a flower, etc., lettuce head, and that's throughout the interior of their building. We did some custom ADA signs for them that mark the entrances of their building, so bringing them up to code for ADA compliance. We're also doing some printed window shades. They have the sun beating through their windows and it's spoiling some wine. So we're going to custom print some retractable window shades with some historical scenes of Monterey on the inside of the windows. So it's going to do two things. It's going to give some nice interior decoration, but also block the sun from damaging their product. We're doing some trailside signage that talks about the history of the building and the history of that part of the bay when it was a fishing port and a railway station.
Stations, right.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're doing small stickers and decals and produce identification labels. And so we're doing a gazillion things for them right now. Yeah.
Monterey Signs, you're at
Right.
555 Broadway Avenue
Right,
in
yep.
Seaside. And you've been there for what, 3 or 4 years now?
About 3 years.
About 3 years. How do you like it there?
Love it. It's been great.
Now, I got a question. Is it off the wall? What's upstairs? Is there something
Tenants.
up?
Yeah,
Tenants
there's-
are up there.
There's 3 apartments up there.
Do they have windows that look out anywhere? I don't see any windows for them. Or what?
You know, they do, and there's a courtyard in the center. If you
There's a
go up the
court-
stairwell,
I
there's a exposed courtyard.
Okay.
That's pretty nice.
It's a little different. I was trying to figure it out. I said,
Yeah.
don't they? Anyway, it's okay. All right. Well, very good. You enjoy what you're doing. That's the important thing.
Very much. In fact, so much we're expanding into Santa Cruz
Santa
and
Cruz.
also San Luis Obispo.
Now, is that going to be called Santa Cruz Signs? Or?
So we're opening up.
I shouldn't
it
say that
is.
now.
No, it is.
Okay,
right?
because maybe
No,
somebody
you're fine.
You got the name already?
We do.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Didn't want to.
We're ready to go.
that with
Santa Cruz Signs, and also SantaCruzSigns.com and San Luis Obispo Signs. And that's going to be called slow-signs.com, SLO for San Luis Obispo.
Oh, okay.
So business is good at Monterey Signs, and we're taking advantage and opening up 2 other
Well,
locations.
you mentioned other things like the stickers and things that you're doing for this place and so
Yeah.
on. Have you guys delved into going into doing websites at all?
No,
No?
we're going to stick to signs.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, that's kind of a sign.
Yeah, people ask us to do T-shirts and business cards and websites.
You got a T-shirt place across the street.
Right, because we've got a nice sense of style and we know what we're doing and we have their logo and we're pretty proficient at what we do, but we're going to stick to our strengths and stay with science.
Yeah. What's the biggest sign you ever did?
We did an electronic scoreboard for the Watsonville Speedway. That was pretty impressive.
Oh.
It was, I believe,
Now
Ocean Speedway
Ocean Speedway now.
in Watsonville.
I didn't mean to correct you.
Oh, yeah.
It used to be Watsonville. Anyway, big electronic sign? You mean like digital and everything?
Yeah, it's got a digital scoreboard in the middle.
Really?
And then it's surrounded by aluminum signage that spells out Ocean Speedway, the sponsor of Ocean Honda.
Yeah, Ocean Honda, right.
Right.
Good. All right. Thank you
Thank you,
very
Jim.
much. We're going to
Appreciate
take
your
a little break. Oh, hold on a second. This is the Seaside-Sand City Television Show here on KYMB, Comcast Channel 19. I got my next guest, Todd Champion from, well, Post No Bills and a couple other things. You've heard of the Happy Girl Kitchen. We're going to talk about all sorts of interesting things that he does. We'll be right back in about 2 minutes.